What's good, YouTube? I just want to make another video, like usual. But I just want to talk about I want to talk about auto flowers versus photo periods. Um, it's always going to be a debate about. I can't really say it's going to always be a debate about, which is better. But because I think, photo periods are better. I'll just say that right now. Um, but I would say it would always be a debate about auto flowers' place. You know, place in the world. Um, I started off growing auto flowers uh, because I wanted something quicker, faster, and my thought was if I put 13 auto flowers in there, and they saying the ones I remember I had some blueberry autos, and it was supposed to be done in like 70 days, and I remember 70 days came and they weren't done, and you know all this type of thing, but and I had a lot of stunted plants and all that. So, but I was a beginner, you know, and I would definitely say that auto flowers aren't good for beginners. Um, I hear some people say they are, but me personally, I feel like I should have just started with photo period. I mean, not too much longer after that, like right after I finished the autos, I had a photo period finish. I ended up, or allegedly, um, maybe just stories about somebody else ended up getting a clone and doing flowering that out or whatever. But at the same time, uh I ended up growing more autos, and I was like heavily into the autos. I wanted to make the auto thing work, but it just couldn't, like. And I remember one time I said this, like I posted this on Instagram. I said that, is it me or do all the auto flowers have like the same kind of like smell? Not that they smell exactly the same. Like, okay, yeah, this one could smell like cherries. This one could smell like, you know, um, lemonade or whatever the case. But it's like a similar smell that they all have, and then I've heard people say, and then a lot of people, and I remember I had a couple people send me like packs of autos, like, no, try these, try these, try these, and I'm like, after I grow them out, I'm like, no, it's still there, and maybe it's from the ruderalis plant. Uh, that's what I'm thinking. I've heard people say that they all have the same kind of terp, and I feel like that's true too. And maybe it is from the ruderalis plant. Like, it's just something that you can't shake. Just like how all weed smells like weed. It might smell like cherries or lemonade. It might smell like a trash can. You might have some that smell like whatever, but it still smells like weed at the end of the day. And that's kind of like how autos are. It's like, it could be a, a lemon haze auto, it could be an OG Kush auto, it could be a Runt auto. It'll still have the same auto taste, that auto smell on, underneath whatever the original terp is, or whatever the dominant terp is. But I feel like autos are okay. My best autos I had, or um, allegedly had, allegedly I'm making this story up. Allegedly, it's not true. I had them outdoors, and I feel like autos do better outdoors. Maybe you could say, um, it's natural, whatever. Everything can go, but photos can go better outdoors too, to a certain extent. But I just feel like autos definitely do better outdoors. And if you're a beginner, just grab some photos. You can grab both. You can play around with the autos. Um, but I would say just grab you some photos. Grab something cheap, and play with those. The autos, I feel like a lot of people have, like, they have bad experiences with autos, especially if you're a person that is used to growing photos and you have the system down and everything. I can definitely see you not enjoying the auto flowers. And if I'm gonna be honest, allegedly, I haven't grown an auto. Allegedly, I'm making this story up. Allegedly, I'm talking about somebody else. Uh, in at least a couple of years, at least a couple of years at this point. But I just can't find the time, and it's just like, I got the space. It's not hard to make a space for a little pot in the corner in the bedroom, the veg tent or whatever the case, to let it just go, just to see what happens, and just to, but it's just kind of the finickiness of them, the and then just the end product. Like I say, you do all of this work. I've seen people, oh, I got a pound off of auto, and I'm like, I know that's not anything I would want to smoke now. That's just not, who am I, right? Who am I? But I'm just like, yeah, I know for a fact that that's not any top quality bud right there. Oh, I got all these off of an auto. Oh, what kind of auto? Oh, a Royal Queen seed. You know what I mean? It's just like, and do they got some fire autos out there? Sure. Like, and I'm not saying that autos are bad or this or that. It's just like, once you tasted the real thing, that real deal, it's like that's just on another level. It's just on another level. It's just on like a lower level. It just is what it is. And if you just like to grow, because at the end of the day, I'm talking about the final product. You know, flower, right? I'm not a rosin guy or anything like that. Um, I'm just talking about flower. I'm talking about, you want to light it up, smoke a haver and a bong and some papers, some cigarillos, however, that's what I'm a flower guy. So, man, I can't honestly, like, I don't know. Well, I eventually, I probably will, because I created a couple of, allegedly, created a couple auto strains and whatnot. And it's something I've had for quite a while too that I want to see. It was ones I had. I remember I had some outdoors a few years back, and it was an OG Kush Auto I got from ILGM, which definitely was not an OG Kush Auto because it was all purple. And I mean, ILGM is ILGM, right? It's been a while. They could be cool now, but it's yeah. Anyway, and I had a, a Granddaddy Perk Auto, and the male, it was a Granddaddy Perk male, and the female was the OG Kush Auto. Uh, and I remember it was just like very, I crossed them outside, and I remember I ran some, and it was just, man, it was pretty, just pretty, real pretty. Not gonna lie, some of the prettiest bud I had, like I still got some too. Allegedly, allegedly still got some, but yeah, I would just say, grow what you want to grow. At the end of the day, um, everything's not for everybody. I'm not gonna sit here and say autos are not necessarily for me, but I will say that, you know, I gotta find time to work them in somehow. I don't want to abandon kind of what got me to this point, my starting point. Don't want to forget where I came from, type of deal, right? Um, so I'll do some more at some point, and I know some good breeders out here. Um, my favorite's Tiger Auto Flowers. Um, yeah, I ever mess around on Strangley and whatnot. Get something from him. I grew. He had some. It was. It was. I know it was a Kim dog. I can't remember. Was it just a Kim Dog auto? I can't remember, but I remember I had it outside, and yeah, them was the best autos I had right there. So that's all I wanted to say about that. It's nothing wrong with autos. You can grow them, do your thing. They're not for everybody, not really for me, and that's okay. They could be for you, and that's okay. But let me know how you feel about auto flowers or photo periods in the comments. Yeah, I'll talk to you later.